Evening and welcome to the August 25th, 2021 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. A meeting was held at 6 p.m. in the council chambers of City Hall for clarification of the agenda. The following is the official agenda of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Discussion and commission action will be limited to the items on the agenda. Any citizen who wishes to address the commission shall first be recognized by the chair and shall give his or her name and address for the record. If a citizen wishes to read documentation of any sort to the commission, he or she shall first seek permission from the chair. There will be a 3-minute limitation for presentations to the commission. Agenda item number 1 is roll call and disclosure of conflict of interest. Asa, will you call roll?
Cindy Anderson.
Present. And I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Crystal Chanda.
Present, I made a site visit for agenda item number 4 and I have nothing else to disclose.
Jeremy Marley.
Present. I have nothing to disclose.
Rich Phillips.
Present, I have nothing to disclose.
Nate Roberts.
Present, I have nothing to disclose.
Shin-Kyu Ryu.
Present, and I made a site visit to agenda item number 3 and agenda item number 4, and I have nothing else to disclose.
Taylor Wood.
Present, I made a site visit to agenda item number 4, and I have nothing else to disclose.
Okay.
We will move on to agenda item number 2, which is approval of the minutes. The commission may wish to approve the meeting minutes for clarification for the regular meeting of August 11th, 2021. Any commissioners have any questions regarding the minutes? I would like to entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion by Rue, a second by Marley. Will you call vote, please?
Ryu.
Yes.
Marley.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Chanda.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Wood. Motion carries.
So now we will start the public hearing. I would ask that everybody silence their cell phones. There's only 10 minutes for the applicant to present, 3 minutes for public. Names are required for those presenting. Questions and comments should be pertinent to the application and addressed only to the commission. As this is a public hearing, there should be no questions, comments, or applause from the audience. Should the meeting go longer than 8 p.m., the commission may take a 10-minute break. Commission members may make their decision regarding the application on facts already in the record and information presented at the public hearing. Conflicts of interest, site visits, and ex parte contacts by the commission members will be acknowledged. Protocol requires that the commission members and audience be recognized by the commission chair prior to speaking. Agenda item number 3, public hearing for Pocatello Creek Development Company annexation. I now declare the public hearing open. I would like to invite the applicant to the podium.
Very good, commissioners. My name is Ryan Satterfield from Pocatello Creek Development Company. Tonight we are asking for an annexation to extend city boundaries for another 122 acres of property. The previous, most recent annexation that we did was in 2017. We've now basically developed through that area and would be looking to extend services and future development into this area, which is east of our current developments of Greenfield Meadows and Crestview Estates. The development, you'll see shortly before you in the coming weeks a preliminary plat for the next extension of Crestview Estates, but that preliminary plat includes properties that are within this requested annexation area, and so I guess with that, I would ask that you would approve the annexation, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you might have concerning the application.
Thank you. Commission members, do you have any questions for the applicant? I guess one of the things that we discussed during the clarification meeting was the slopes. And considering if we want to zone those as RL or maybe RE would be more proper for that, I guess. I think we all understood that with the requirements for, and I couldn't remember the name last time, and I'm not going to remember it again, the wildlife area, and then the slope standards you'll have to meet when you're developed. We think that, we feel confident that those, and knowing that they're too steep to build on, that those won't be disturbed. And I think, any other questions?
There was some discussion that there hadn't been a response to number 6 in the, whether the proposed zoning designation is consistent with the comprehensive plan land use map designation. There just wasn't, we were wondering if there was a reason that you didn't respond to that.
No, I can't say that there was, but we would concur with the staff analysis on that.
Okay.
At this time, there is no other questions from the commissioners. At this time, I would ask for a presentation from the staff.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Commission members, Matthew Lewis, Senior Planner with the City. As noted, Pocatello Creek Development Company, represented by Rocky Mountain Engineering Survey, has submitted an application to annex and zone 122.80 acres, more or less, of land located east of Greenfield and Crestview subdivisions and north of High Country subdivision First Edition. The proposed zoning for the property is residential low density, which is consistent with the zoning to the west and south. The annexation request is in statutory compliance with Idaho State Code 50-222 3.ai as a Category A annexation, which allows the annexation to take place wherein all property landowners have consented to the annexation. As proposed, the subject property is within the adopted area city impact and lies contiguous to the city of Pocatello limits at the westernmost property line. Staff recommends that the area be amended from the comprehensive plan map designation of mixed use to designation R residential as part of a future comprehensive plan land use amendment. And this is noted in condition number 5 of the staff report. All property owners within a 300-foot radius of the land to be annexed have been provided notice of the public hearing in order that they may provide comment on the proposed annexation application and zoning. Notice was also published in the Idaho State Journal, and signs were posted on the subject property. As of completion of the staff report, no written public comment has been received. Staff did receive 2 phone calls in regards to the annexation. One of them was concerning future water pressure in the area. Should the commission recommend approval of the subject application, staff recommends that the 7 conditions outlined in the report be attached. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Commissioners, any questions for staff? Meryl's here also. If there is no questions, I would like, just kidding. So besides the 2 phone calls you received, there's not been any additional correspondence?
There is none.
Okay. I'm going to skip all my reminders. At this time, I would like to invite anybody providing testimony supporting the application to come forward. I would like anybody providing testimony uncommitted to the application. Anybody opposed to the application? It's going to be a hard one, but does the applicant have a rebuttal for us?
Nothing to add, no.
At this time, I would like to declare the public hearing closed. How would the commission like to proceed?
I will make a motion to recommend approval of the application from Pocatello Creek Development Company to annex 122.8 acres plus or minus, located east of Greenfield and Crestview subdivisions and north of High Country subdivision, first edition, giving a zoning designation of residential low density, finding the application does not or does meet the standards for approval under Chapter 1702-110 of Pocatello Municipal Code, with the conditions listed in the staff report.
And we need to make sure that you authorize the chair to sign the findings of facts.
And,
In this one,
and sorry, what was that?
you need to authorize the chair to sign the findings of fact.
Okay, and that the chair be authorized to sign findings of fact.
I'll second. Can we have clarification on what that means, though? Because we're in the middle of a meeting now, but that's maybe something that we should have known beforehand.
It was just omitted, I think it was just forgotten.
Okay.
But whenever there is a public hearing, the chair has to sign when the findings of facts of this meeting are put together. The chair is called in when they're done, and she has to sign the findings of facts. That will then go in front of the council.
Okay, thank you. A second.
I have a motion by Anderson, a second by Marley. Aislinn, will you please call vote?
Anderson,
Yes?
Marley,
Yes?
Chanda,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Roberts,
No.
Rue,
Yes.
Wood.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ryan. We will now move on to agenda item number 4, preliminary plat, Point View Apartments, first edition. Kent Morris, represented by HLE, has submitted an application for preliminary plat to develop 1.5 acres more or less into 7 lots. The proposed subdivision is located on the corner of Quinn and Philbin Road. I would like to remind everybody that this is a public hearing. I've already stated the hearing procedures once, and I think we're all familiar with those. At this time, I would like to declare the public hearing open and would invite the applicant to...
Sorry, the preliminary plat is not a public hearing.
It sure is.
It will be in the future.
Then why was it advertised as public hearing?
Let's see.
There's signs on it.
Yeah, we put signs on them. They always have a sign on it.
It's as a meeting, yeah, it's just a meeting,
Oh, okay.
inviting the public to come into the meeting.
Sorry, there are so many people here to oppose it that I thought So I'm going to close the public hearing. Chris, will you tell us about the project,
Thank you, Madam
please?
Chair. Chris Street, HLE, here representing Mr. Morris and his partners on the Point View Apartments First Edition. This is a continuation from Point View Apartments that consists of 8 lots, and each lot consists of a fourplex. Two of the lots currently have an existing fourplex on them, and they're being a replat from the first edition. The other 6 lots will have a new fourplexes. The connectivity will be, if you've been out there, it'll connect, the parking lots will be interconnected, and they'll be providing a bunch of new parking spots for the new buildings. We are revising the original plan for the storm retention. Storm retention originally was designed to be a long strip north and south. It's going to be more of an L shape to accommodate. We're still working to accommodate the storm drain, or storm water, excuse me. We're still working on our final design, but that's our proposal. There was a couple of conditions that I wanted just to talk about in staff report. We don't have a problem with them. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea how we're going to resolve them. The stormwater being collected from Vilbin, we'll collect that. That's not a big deal. Where the current storm drain on Brock is dumping right into our lot, we've got 1 of 2 options, and we're weighing those options, and we'll go over them with the city staff and make sure they're okay with them. But one of the options would be to drain the water across Brock to the south. Mr. Morris has that property to the south, and we're working on a development there. The other option would be to dig up Brock and run it further to the east and tie into the line there. Like I said, we're still working on our final design, but I think the option that we're leaning towards will be just heading south across the road, 1 trench across the road, and draining it and accommodating that storm water in our next development across Brock. The storm drain pond will be connected. There'll be it'll be a road or parking lot over them, and it'll be connected through a storm drain pipe. So there'll be a little bit of portion on the north side of the project, and the rest of the storm drain will be collected on the easterly and southerly side of the project. And that concludes my presentation. If you guys have any questions, I can answer those now.
Any questions from commission for the applicant?
Have you been in contact at all with Idaho Power regarding their concerns on that overhead power line on Quinn?
No, I have not talked to Idaho Power, and I actually haven't seen that letter. And that's probably my doing, not staff's doing. I haven't seen that letter. We have had that, we have looked at it. We know there's that power line running down Quinn. In fact, I drove all the way down Quinn. I was amazed to see kind of how it's been, it's almost in the, to me, it's almost in the turn lane the whole way. So we just, I guess our assumption was we were going to accommodate it like it's been accommodated farther to the east on Quinn Road. Thank you. Yep, you're welcome.
So it looks like you've already taken into consideration the extended right-of-way in Philbin Road.
That's correct. And the one thing we haven't taken into consideration was that 10-foot proposed, that 10-foot lot. We will, like I said, we're fine with that that condition. That will dedicate that to the homeowners association for future right-of-way on Philbin.
So the stormwater, so the detention basin that was there was to retain water from the Point View Apartments first completed. And then you're adding almost the exact same amount of pervious area, and it doesn't, like, are you confident that that retention basin is going to have enough? And if it doesn't, what are you going to do?
No, we're confident. The engineers have run the preliminary numbers. We're confident it's going to have enough. If you notice on lot 6 is a fairly large lot, 3/10 of an acre. And that storm retention, we're creating a fairly large storm retention area just north of that building.
Yep, I missed that.
Okay, yep. The also thing I want to talk about was we're going to handle the public utilities very similar to the way that they handled it on Point View, where everything's going to be in a shared private access, but a public utility easement. So all the utilities will be running in the parking lot, but it'll be a public utility easement. So it's, I think that the original Point View apartment plat is in your packet. It was in our application, so that's the way we're going to handle the easements. So.
Any other questions from commission for the applicant? At this time, I would like to invite staff to present.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Commission members, Mayor, with us again with senior planner with the city. The request before you is for preliminary plat approval of Point View Apartments First Edition. The proposal calls for the platting of 1.52 acres more or less into 8 lots. Lots 7 and 8 are included as part of the replat of lots 1 and 2, Block 1, the Point View Apartments, which is reflected in the title. The proposed subdivision is located south of Quinn Road, east of Philbin Road, and north of Block Drive. The proposed subdivision is zoned residential, commercial, professional. The applicant is proposing to subdivide the property into 8 lots, each consisting of a 4-plex apartment building and off-street parking on each lot. RCP zoning district requires a minimum lot size of 1,452 square feet per multifamily dwelling. Thus, 5808 square feet is required per lot, and the smallest buildable lot proposed is 6,098 square feet plus or minus. The subdivision will be accessed from Brock Drive via Philbin Road to the west. The attached Public Works memorandum attachment A. Please see that for further comments regarding proposed street and right-of-way improvements. Idaho Power officials submitted a memorandum regarding the proposal dated Monday, August 23rd, 2021, which the commission was provided a copy during pre-agenda, and I'll make sure, Chris, that you get a copy of that. I apologize for not sending that to you sooner. Staff has recommended under condition number 3 that the developer shall coordinate with the utility officials, including but not limited to Idaho Power and Gas, etc., prior to submittal of the final plat. Staff finds that the proposal is compliant with all applicable standards of City Code 1620.050 with conditions attached, with 4 conditions attached. This concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Commission, any questions for the staff? If they decide they're gonna go south across Brock with that stormwater and onto the property across the street, even though one of the applicants owns that property, from my understanding, would there still have to be some kind of a agreement recorded with the county and stuff to assure that in 10 years somebody doesn't say, no, you can't put that stormwater on our property?
We'll probably require a temporary easement in that language that it would remain in place until another plan or a permanent solution has been provided, meeting our Portland Valley Stormwater Design Map.
Any other questions? With that, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the preliminary plat application from Kent Morris, Robert and Jody Dayton, Ryan and Rochelle Coates for the Point View Apartments First Edition subdivision, finding the application does meet the standards for approval under Chapter 16.20.050 of Pocatello Municipal Code, with the conditions of approval that is listed by the staff.
I have a motion by Rue and a second by Roberts. Aislinn, will you call vote?
Brew,
Yes.
Roberts,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes?
Chamba,
Yes.
Marley,
Yes?
Phillips,
Yes.
Ward. Motion carries.
Okay, at that, I would like to adjourn our planning and zoning meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.